Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be the first episode I'm ever shooting on my iPhone XS Max, so I don't think the camera will be much better, and if so, who cares? But hopefully the audio will be a little bit better. I know sometimes you guys don't like the audio on my videos. Anyway, today we're taking a look at a fragrance from the house of Battistoni. This one is called Marte 61. Battistoni, for those of you who don't know, is a really high-end fashion, high-end Italian fashion house that really primarily does men's suiting. Now, there's a scene in one of my favorite movies and books of all time called The Talented Mr. Ripley. In the film, the character Tom Ripley came to Italy and he only brought one jacket with him. And the character Dickie Greenleaf, who's this playboy, really suave, says to him on the train, we got to get you, this movie, by the way, is set in like the 50s in Italy. We got to get you a better jacket. He goes, when we go to Rome, there's a place called Battistoni, and he pronounces it like that, and Tom Ripley's really impressed, and he mouths Battistoni. So a little bit of trivia if you ever do see that movie. Great, great movie. And the house is Battistoni Roma. Not a ton of info out there about this ultra luxury Italian house, but I will tell you they have over 20 fragrances in their lineup. The earliest was released in 1986. The latest 1997, so they haven't released something in a good amount of time. Now, the way that I got this one, there's a pharmacy near where I used to live in the East 60s on Lexington Avenue, Manhattan, called Cambridge Chemists. And they sold a few fragrances there. They stopped selling fragrances. And one day I was in there primarily looking at their wet shaving stuff, and they had a shelf with all their fragrances 50% off. And I saw this, and I saw the original OG version of Uomo by Trussardi, and I grabbed both. This one I didn't know much about, but I knew of Battistoni, and I looked it up on Fragrantica, and it looked good, and I knew about Trussardi Uomo, so I bought both, and I paid $34 for this for 100 ml. It was 50% off, as was Uomo by Trussardi, which I also reviewed on my channel. Now, this was a 1997 release. There's no info on the perfumer behind this one, and the notes on it are bergamot, juniper, mandarin, mint, lavender, magnolia, lily of the valley, freesia, sandalwood, tonka bean, oak moss, apopanax, and white musk. This has become very hard to get. I have seen it creeping around on eBay, 100 ml for $61, so not bad pricing if you can find it. And as far as your presentation goes, I didn't use all of this. When I actually finally opened it, and it was sealed, about half of it was gone, and the sprayer, not very good. It does like this, so not a good even distribution of sprays. My belief is this was like an old bottle, perhaps a 97 bottle, and it just sat for a while. Thankfully, it smelled great, which is still all that really matters to me. And here you have your Marte 61 Battistoni Roma. Now, I really, really like this fragrance. This is a floral, citrus, woody scent that smells like something from the late 90s. You get this bergamot and mandarin opening with some white florals and a very unassuming green mint note. And it's just really pleasant. It smells like a late 90s designer scent that got lost in the sauce. It's fresh. It's a great, fresh scent. As you start to progress, it becomes woody. And I feel like the apopanax provides just the right amount of resin, and it's really capped off by this fantastic, and I do mean fantastic, white musk blend. So in summation, what this guy is a bergamot mandarin combo with sandalwood, white florals, white musk, and a dash of apopanax. And I have to tell you, it is blended fantastically. The proportions are just right. It feels like a skilled hand made sure that everything was done here right. Really fresh, but the right amount of heft to make sure that it stands up well. It isn't wispy, it isn't fleeting. It's a pretty substantial scent. It's not a performance monster, but it's quite apt, 6 to 8 hours probably. Mainly a citrus, mint, and white floral scent for 5 hours or so of the projection. It does a good job when it comes to performance. It does what you'd expect it to do. Could a woman wear this? Of course. I think it'll probably do better on a man. I think that was the company's intent. And for me, I think the ideal way to wear this, it's a jack of all trades. You can wear this dressed up at a meeting, dressed down, t-shirt and jeans. But ideally for me, I'd wear this to work. This is a people pleaser and it will get you compliments. Now, if you're looking for something like this, but can't get your hands on this, I'd say if you like Acqua di Gio or L'Eau d'Issy, you'll like this. And that's the kind of fragrance you're looking at here. It's that citrusy thing with just the right amount of musk, woods, and florals. So it's just a much different iteration of those, to be honest. And if you really want to extend that citrus mint theme, you know, you could look at a fragrance like 1861 Renaissance by Xerjoff or Acqua di Cima by Eau d'Italy. On the less pricier end of the spectrum, Guerlain Homme sort of follows this theme as well. And one that I recently just got to look at on my sample shopping series is Colonia Pura by Acqua di Parma. That sort of smells a little bit like this one as well. If someone were trying to talk you into purchasing this, I think they'd tell you that it smells really good and it's unique. It's got quality to it, it's really versatile, and it's gonna be cool when someone asks you what you're wearing if you say Marte 61 by Battistoni. I think if someone were trying to talk you into skipping this one, yeah, they would tell you good luck finding it. And this sort of florally, spicy citrus might not float everyone's boat. For me, this is a pretty easy one to score. I think this is an 8 out of 10. If this was easier to find retail, this would be a 9 for me. I love it. I think this is a really good fragrance. The combination of citrus with mint, white florals, musk, and sandalwood is exquisite. If Battistoni had been able to market this right, this would have been a big deal. If you trust me on that. You know, Battistoni doesn't make loud clothing with logos everywhere or trendy stuff. They make well-made Italian tailored clothing for men that know quality. And I feel like they've captured what they're true to in this fragrance. It's just well crafted, it's versatile. It's not gonna go out of style. It works on any occasion. It's just good. And again, it sounds cool. Marte 61 by Battistoni. Oh, how can you find that? You can't. It's really probably only sold in Italy, so you might be able to get it at the Battistoni flagship in Rome. That's swag times 10 if someone asks you. So I like this one. I would love to know if anyone else has been able to check this one out or anything by Battistoni. Please let me know. They actually also did a few women's scents as well. So does this sound interesting to you? Have you been able to check this out? Is this something you're interested in? Leave a comment. As always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back with some more videos next week. My name obviously is Maximilian.